Okay, so now let's add some UI to actually load the data again. So first of all, let's go back to Unity, and in our main menu, let's stop the game first. Okay, so in our main menu, I will go to the canvas, menu buttons, and then I will right click UI button, and I will name this button continue. Continue. Okay, let's remove the text from this button. And now I will need to apply the graphics. So go to the graphics main menu, and you have the continue button here. Okay, this button here. So I just grab the continue button and drop it into the source image. Right, and then I will press this set native size. If you don't have this button here, just make sure you're saving this size into the width and the height. And I will just move this one down, maybe here. Okay, so this is our continue button, and actually I will add some text to this button. So first of all, let's right click on this button, UI text, and this text is gonna be named the level text, and then right click again on the button, UI text, and this text is gonna be the time text. Okay, so we have the level text and the time text. So I will just change this level text to be the width to be 200 by 50, and I will set the font to be 40, and maybe make it bold. It's up to you really, whatever you like. And I will just position it here and maybe on the side, right? And then the time text, I will make the same. So the time text will be 200 by 50, and I will make this bold, and then the size will be 40. Okay, so that's gonna be the time text, and I will just position it here. Maybe let's copy the same Y from the level, so everything is on the same level, the same height. Okay, so we're gonna display it like, let's say, easy, and then it's going to be our time. So if we want to continue the easy level with the time, okay, and maybe make all of this text like in the middle. Okay, so we can save it now, and now we need to create another script. So let's go to the scripts folder, and I will right click, create C# script, and I will name this script the continue button. Continue button. Okay, let's open the script. So our continue button is here. Okay, so first of all, let's include some UI elements. So right at the top, using Unity engine.ui. Okay, and then I will create some public variables. So public text, and this is going to be time text, and then public text, and this is gonna be the level text. Okay, and then in the start method, we're gonna do if config dot game data file exist is equal to false. So if there is no file to read from, we're gonna do the game object dot get component button dot interactable will be equal to false, so we will not be able to press on the button. And then we want to set the time text dot text will be equal to empty string, and then level text dot text will be equal to empty string. Okay, so otherwise we want to actually read the data from the file. So float delta time will be equal to config dot read game time, and then delta time plus equal time dot delta time, and then we want to get the time span, and then in order to use the time span we need to use the system. Right at the top I will put using system. Okay, so the time span is recognized now, and I will call it span will be equal to time span dot from seconds delta time. Okay, so now string hour will be equal to we need to have a function leading 0. Right at the top I will just, before we continue that implementation, I will create function. So string leading 0 will be equal to int n, and we return n dot toString dot pad left, and we want a padding 2 characters of 0. Okay, so we want to use this function in our hours, so leading 0, and we want to pass the span dot hour, and then string minute will be equal to leading 0 span dot minute, and then string seconds will be equal to leading 0 and then span dot seconds. Okay, and then time text dot text will be equal to hour plus column plus minute plus column and plus seconds. Okay, so this is going to be the time, and then text level text dot text will be equal to config dot read board level. Let's save everything, and now let's go back to our Unity, and then right at the start, if we go back to our file, you see our time is 20 seconds and something milliseconds. So let's see what and the level is easy. So let's see what our continue button will display. Alright, it doesn't display anything because we didn't implement it. We didn't assign the script to the button. So click on the continue button and then find our script, the continue button script, and then drag and drop it into the component, and then let's initialize the time text. So time text, I will just drag this text to this field. Actually the time text should be on the time text and the level text should be on the level text. Okay, and then press play, and we have a easy 000000. Okay, so the time is not read properly from the file, but the level is actually okay. So the level is read fine, but the time is not. Okay, let's actually test it a different way. So let's first of all play easy, and let's get some time. So 0034, right? And then now if we output something and we lose, we're gonna have an exit and then continue easy. Okay, let's switch the level medium, and let's see if everything is saved. Okay, the levels changed, but the time does not. Okay, so I think, because the time is saved fine in the file, as you see, I think the reading logic for the time is not correct. So let's quickly go back to our config script, and let's see where we actually read our time. Okay, so I have found an issue in our read game time function. So open our config.cs file, and as you see, I have put the string reader instead of the stream reader. So make sure you change this string reader to stream reader. Stream reader and then stream reader here. Okay, make sure it's a stream reader, not the string reader. So if you save now everything, go back to Unity. Let's open our file. So we see we have a 5 seconds saved. Let's play. And we have our 5 second displayed now. So everything is read correctly from the file. As you see, if you bring the file back, we have the medium level and we have a 5 seconds left. 5 seconds saved. Okay, so we have completed the game and the time was 5 seconds. Okay, so now we need to implement the action. When we actually press the continue button, we want to be able to read the data and load the correct data based on that, based on what we've read. Okay, let's go back to our continue button class, and let's scroll down right above the update function. Actually, we don't need the update function, so we can delete it. And then let's put public void set game data game settings dot instance dot set game mode, and then config dot read board level. Okay, so we wanna just set the board level based on the whatever we saved. Okay, so let's save everything, and now let's go back to Unity. Let's select our continue button, and then let's go to the on-click event. We will need to add a few events. So let's press plus and then drag and drop our main camera. And then from the list, we need to select the game setting menu buttons. And we need to actually implement one more function. So before we do anything here, let's go quickly to our menu button class. Let's open it and then scroll down. Below the set pause, I will create the function public void continue previous game, and then bool continue game, and this function will call the game settings dot instance dot set continue previous game, and then continue game. Okay, let's save everything. Now let's go back to Unity. Let's click on our continue button again, go to the on-click event, and then we need to drag and drop our main camera. Then from the function, we want to save the select the menu buttons and then continue previous game, and then make sure you tick it, so there is a tick. Then we want to press another plus, and then we want to drag and drop main camera, and we want to set from the function menu buttons and then load scene, and we want to load the game scene. So if you go to the scene folder, make sure that you type the correct name, and then we want to press the small button plus again, and then we want to drag the continue button in, and from this continue button we want to select the continue button and then set game data. Okay, we want to set all of these three functions. So now when we press play, we want to press continue. We are loading our game with the correct numbers. So let's let's put some numbers again. So remember, it's 7 here and it's 1 here. Okay, So if we now go exit, continue, we have 7 and 1. So it's correctly loading the data, but it does not apply the colors, and it's like does not apply the timer and then errors. So we just need to fix these UI elements, and that would be everything what we have to do. So let's save everything first of all. Okay, and then first of all let's go to the lives class. So in our lives, in our start method, currently we're setting the game error and then lives to the specific amount, but we want to do the if statement. So if the game settings dot instance dot get continue previous game. So if we continue the previous game, we want to do the error number will be equal to config dot error number, and then the lives will be equal to error images dot count minus error number. Okay, and then we want to do the for init error is equal to 0, error is less than the error number, error plus plus. We want to do the error images at error, maybe should be index not error, dot set active will be equal to true. Okay, so we just want to enable all of the pictures based how many errors we have already made. So this is for the lives, and now let's go to our clock time. So in our clock time, in the awake method, currently we're setting the clock, the delta time, to be equal to 0. So right above that, we want to check if the game settings dot continue dot instance dot continue previous game. We want to set the delta time to be equal to config dot read get time, read game time. Okay, and then otherwise we want to set the delta time to be equal to 0. Okay, so that should be it. So let's save everything now. Make sure you put all of these changes in the code as I did, and let's go back to Unity, and let's now test the game. So we're loading hard, level hard with the time 0015. Let's start. We have 15 and then 16 now. Okay, seems like the errors are not loading correctly. So let's just bring back the file and see how many errors we should have. So according to this file, we should have 0 errors. Okay, so that's the reason why it's not bringing back the images. So let's go back. Once we go back, you see our time has changed now. So let's go back, and then now let's play normal game. Let's make like 2 errors, and then let's go back now. Let's load the game again. Okay, and seems like the errors is not bringing back the errors. So let's go back to our scripts again. Go to the lives. Okay, and I will put the I will go to the error number to the config. And again, I have made mistake here. Instead of the string reader, we should have a stream reader. So in the config file, read error number, make sure you put the stream reader, not string reader. Okay, let's see other functions if I didn't make the same mistake. I think this was just the auto completion from the IntelliSense. So let's save everything now. Make sure you change this. you make the changes. So it should be stream reader, not string reader. Okay, let's go back to Unity. Okay, let's try again. So currently we have 0 errors. Let's play again and let's make some errors. So I make the errors here, okay, and there. Oh, I just put a good number. And let's make some notes as well. And maybe one note here, and do one more note there, okay? And now let's go back and then continue. So we have the error numbers fine. So the error numbers, you see we have two error numbers, and according to our file, we have 2 errors. Okay, so everything is displaying correctly, the time is going. So if we go back, you see we have a easy 42. Okay, so let's see how to implement, like we need to implement the coloring squares as well. If there is an error, we want to have the red color. Okay, so I have found the problem why the grid is not colored to red whenever we read the data from the file and there is an error. So go to the grid square class and then find the function setCorrectNumber, the one with the parameter when we're passing the number. And then inside this function, we want to do the if number is not equal to 0 and number is not equal to correct number. We want to set the hasWrong value to be equal to true, and then set square color. We want to pass the color dot red. Okay. Okay, let's save everything now, and then let's go back to Unity. Okay, let's bring back our file and press play. So as you see, we have no errors. So if we press play now, we need to make some errors. No error here, error. Okay, well, if we go back and then go back again, we have our 8 is error. Okay, we have 1 error and the time is fine. So let's see if the nodes are working now. So we save these nodes, we go back, let's read continue. The nodes are not saved. I mean, they are saved because as you see, we have our nodes saved, but they are just not displayed. So let's see why this one's happened now. So we are almost there. Okay, so the nodes are not displayed because in our grid square class we have the start method and we're setting the set node number value to 0. So after we read the numbers from the file, we just clear them with the 0, with the value 0. So what do we have to do here? So go to the grid square and the start method, and then in the start method we want to, right before this one, we want to check if the game settings dot instance dot get continue previous game is equal to false. We want to keep our set node numbers to 0, and then otherwise we want to do set clear empty nodes. Okay, so once you do that, save everything and then go back to Unity. Okay, and then let's try again. So we want to start a game, we want to do easy, let's put some nodes, let's go back, continue, and we have all of the nodes in. Okay, so everything is saving fine, so let's test it. So let's actually enable our win button. So if you remember, we have added our win button. There is somewhere the debug button. If we enable this debug button and then you press this small square, we can test if the data file is supposed to be deleted now. So exit. And then if we continue, we have this problem because there is no data and it's just reading the garbage. So the continue button is enabled. This is because we need to go to our scenes folder, then game scene. Okay, then in the canvas, go to our win pop-up, then exit button, and in our on-click event, we need to add small plus, and then we need to just drag and drop main camera. And of course, probably we will not have this function. So before we do that, let's jump straight back to the scripts and then many buttons. And then right at the bottom, we want to call function public void, and then we want to call it exit after 1. Okay, so this function will be just set our game settings dot instance dot set exit after 1 to true. Okay, make sure you save everything, and then now let's go back to Unity, and then click on under our win pop-up, click on the exit button, on click event, and this is the rendering issue which Unity have. Should fix itself in a minute. It did. Okay, so in our exit button on click event, let's just drag and drop our main camera, and then from the functions select the many buttons and then select exit after 1. Okay, so let's save now everything. So file, save. Let's go back to scene and then main menu. Okay, so let's test everything now again. So the button is disabled because we don't have any data. So press play very hard. Let's get some errors. Let's test some notes and then go back. And we have the button enabled. So if we continue now, we have the previous state, we have the notes as well. So everything seems to be fine. And then when we go back, we can play. Okay, there is another issue, as you see, which is after you save the data and you play again, there's a problem. So let's see what that one is. Okay, so this is because in our menu button play, we need to call another function on set, on click. So let's add this small plus and then drag and drop our main camera. And then from the main camera, we need to do the menu buttons and then continue previous game and make sure this square is unchecked. Okay, so now when you press play, continue. Okay, because we had a corrupted data before. So now let's put something back, continue, put something else back, play, easy, everything is back to normal. Okay, so and now we can continue our games, and actually everything seems to be working fine. Yes, so I think this game is almost implemented. There might be some other bugs. You can test it yourself. If you see something strange, do let me know in the comment. If you have any problem with implementing any of this code, please let me know. I think that's pretty much it for this series. I might add another episode to implement the advertisement in the game. Let me know in the comment if you would like to see this episode on this channel. The game is fully playable now, and I think that's it. So thank you very much for watching, and see you again soon.